Number 20 will be called to order. Before we begin, we'll please have a moment of silence for the following individuals who have passed away. Bobby Dubois, 6th grade student at Oak Lawn Middle School. Willie Mae Nevers, retired school board service technician. Mary Lou Broussard Benson Cunningham, retired school paraprofessional. Salvador if I can't pronounce this correctly, Locasio, retired school teacher. Thank you. May we have a roll call? Pledging, and I called, okay, got it. Would you want to do that, sir? Of course.
Prayer first.
Lord, support each of us in this meeting tonight. We ask your divine help in the difficult task of representing the wishes of others. The issues we will discuss tonight are many, and the solutions may not always be easy. Dear God, help us as we serve this parish, Terrebonne school system as elected officials. Be with us forever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. LaGore. Roll call.
Mr. Michael LaGore,
Here.
Mr. Gregory Harding, Mr. Matthew Ford,
Here.
Mrs. Debbie Benoit,
Here.
Mrs. Stacy Solé,
Here.
Mr. Clyde Hamlin,
Here.
Mr. Roger Dale Dehart,
Here.
Dr. Maybelle Trahan,
Here.
and Mr. Dane Voisin.
Here.
Madam Vice President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Number 5 on the special school board meeting. We have a very special night tonight. We want to show Miss Stacy Verhagen Soleil our deepest appreciation as we bid her a fond farewell on her last night of being at our meetings. She has been a blessing on this board, not only personally, but professionally. And I want to give her a chance to have a say a few words if she'd like.
Thank you. 39 years ago, this redneck girl drove from North Louisiana to Terrebonne Parish. It is the best thing I've ever done. And I came here because of this school district. It has been my heart and my soul, whether I've been serving as a teacher, an administrator, a supervisor, and now a school board representative. So I want to thank Superintendent Argeron and the staff for all of your hard work and leadership. I want to thank each of you board members for making this a wonderful 4 years. I thank you. But now it's time that I hop on the back of that motorcycle with my husband and go. But thank you so much. And I also want to thank District 5 for having the confidence in me to elect me to represent them on this board. I'm truly appreciative of each and every person that supported me throughout my tenure on this board. And I just wish each and every one of you the very best. And I hope you continue to work hard to make Terrebonne Parish the best district and to keep it thriving as it is. Thank you. And I said I wasn't going to cry, so stop.
Ms. Soleil, I'd like to present this plaque to you and just in appreciation for your 4 years of service and look forward to your retirement, completion of your retirement or towards retirement. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's great.
Just a few statistics. Ms. Solé was elected to the board in 2019. Her term of office is from 2019 to December 2022. She was elected vice president of the board, serving from January 2019 to January 2020. She served as the vice president of this, and she served as vice chair of the president. She was on the executive committee and a member of the Finance, Insurance, and Section 16 Lands Committee. So we thank you so much, Ms. Solé, for all of you done all this time for our board.
Thank you.
The district is much better off now than it would have been without you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
We want to recognize Mr. Crowders, who's here tonight, our newly elected member who will be taking Ms. Soleil's place. Thank you for being here tonight.
Can I say?
And we go on to item number. Oh,
And Mr. Crowdus, I wish you the very best, and we live 4 houses down, so if you have any questions, just give me a holler.
I will gladly take you up on that.
okay. Item number 6, the superintendent's agenda.
Okay, 6A1 is consideration of approval to revise the pupil progression plan in regards to legislative bulletin 1566 requirements. I'll read the recommendation. The recommendation is that the board approve and accept as presented the pupil progression plan addendum resulting from an update to legislative bulletin 1566 regarding literacy support for 3rd and 4th grade.
Second.
Moved by Mr. DeHart, second by Mr. Ford. Any public comment?
At this time, I'd like Dr. Austin to present the changes in pupil progression and
Okay.
why the
Dr.
legislative
Austin?
update.
Good evening. At your places, you should find a packet that has a synopsis of the overview of how we got to this point with the changes in pupil progression with the addendum that Bessie has approved. And the second page has in highlighted yellow the changes we'd like you to approve this evening. So as a quick overview, in August, you approved this year's pupil progression plan. And then in October, Bessie added an addendum to Bulletin 1566, which affects our pupil progression plan and the guidance therein. And in a nutshell, basically what this means is students in grades 3 and 4 should score at grade level or above at the end of the year screener. So those students that do not score on this literacy screener on grade level, they score below grade level, they would need to have 30 hours of literacy intervention.
Ms. Benmar.
So would that be like summer school hours?
Well, we're looking, as an instructional staff, we are looking and discussing how we could best implement this. The screener is being given in April. So we would effectively have the month of May that we could incorporate something within the school day or possibly after school. And if not, we have some window of time that could be in conjunction with our already existing summer plan. At the beginning of January, we are meeting with our principals and we're brainstorming on some best ways to deliver this instruction.
And then there would be testing again after the 30 hours to make sure that they were competent?
They don't say that in the bulletin. So it's basically to give that instruction. And it's not a criteria for pass-fail. It is just maybe considered. And so our recommendation as an instructional staff is that we follow our academic promotion criteria that's already in place. And those students that score below level get that instruction, and then they will be maybe considered for promotion to the next grade based on SPLRC.
Mr. Hamlin? Sir? Yes, we're going to do that as soon as we finish with this. Mr. Ford?
So if I could just make a suggestion, if you guys do take the opportunity to give them the opportunity to do this during the summer, we could make it after the hours of summer school. Summer school is normally geared around STEM, and I would hate to see these students miss out on that because they're having to do the ELA stuff. So if they just added an hour or two for just those ELA students, I think that would be a good idea to do something like that.
Definitely will consider that. We also do some literacy activities during summer programs, so that might
That
be
would count.
when they do that in that time period. But then we also have to consider transportation needs to get all the children back and forth.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any public comments? Mr. York?
I'd like to make one comment. I might be out of turn, but I hope we can get something done sooner than the end of school, because if children are below level, the longer they wait, the longer it's going to take to get them above level. I learned that all of the years I've served in this capacity, and I just throwing that out there, whenever you meet with principals, I'd like to encourage at least that dialogue also be had. Thank you.
Mr. Ford, any additional?
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off of what Mr. Dehart said, so if they're retesting, or they're testing in April, that gives them usually the month of May. And being a core teacher myself, I've seen that after leap testing, not a lot gets done in the core classes, unfortunately. It should, but a lot of times it doesn't. So if we could take advantage of that time and get those kids that extra core, those lessons, that ELA that they need, I think that would be a good idea as well. Thank you.
Any other board members? Any objections? None heard, so ordered.
Okay, item 2, consideration of the approval of a bid received for Evergreen Junior High School roof repair / replacement project. The recommendation is that the board approve and accept the lowest bid received, meeting all specifications for roof repair / replacement project in response to Hurricane Ida at Evergreen Junior High School from Morecore Roofing LLC, 8325 Highway 90, Roanoke, Louisiana, 70581, in the amount of $1,228,000, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Dehart, second by Mr. Ford.
Mr. Ford made the motion, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Mr.
That's
Ford,
okay.
second by Mr. Dehart. Any public comment? Mr. Ford?
I just want them to get this job done as soon as possible.
Mr. Dehart?
I echo the same thing, that's why I seconded.
Any other
Thank you.
committee members? Any objections? None heard, so ordered.
Okay, item 3, consideration of approval of a bid received for the H.L. Bourgeois High School HVAC replacement / upgrade project. The recommendation is that the board approve and accept the lowest bid, meeting all specifications for HVAC replacement and upgrades at H.L. Bourgeois High School from Volute Incorporated, 313 Venture Boulevard, Houma, Louisiana, 70360, in the amount of $4,892,700. Increase the budget by $2,285,068.13 for a total project budget of $342,491.13. Funds to be derived from the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, ESSER 3, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
Second.
That was you, Ms. Ford?
Yes.
Motion by Mr. Ford, second by Ms. Benoit. Any public comments? Ms. Benoit, excuse me, Mr. Ford?
So I'm wondering if we're still going to wait till the summer, or considering the issues we've had so far this year, if this gets approved, can we get started on that sooner, or we'll have to wait till the summer school?
As soon as materials get there, we'll start some of the prep work, but the major work is going to be done over the summer. So we're in a tight window to try and get it completed by the end of July,
Okay.
if at all possible. That's the goal.
Ms. Benoit?
No.
Any other board members? Mr.
Question.
Dehart?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you ask to speak?
Well, he seconded the motion, so he goes before me.
No, I said.
Oh, you did.
No, Ms. Benoit
You can
seconded
go.
the motion.
You older didn't show. I thought she was following her.
Okay.
Mr.
No, I just got a question. This positive, I'm full support of it, but I know we had allocated, I think, $11 million for air conditioner replacement throughout the school system. This is the first bid that came in, and the reason I'm asking that question, at the price it is, I hope it doesn't jeopardize the others, because the others need to be fixed too. And what I'm trying to say to you is that until you know the cost of something, you don't know how far your money goes.
Right, yes, sir.
And that's the logic out, and the reason I'm asking the question I was asking, okay? That's what all I needed, thank you.
Okay, you got it.
But it definitely needs to be replaced.
Mr. Hamlin?
Well, my question was along those same lines. increased budget was almost $2.3 million increase for a total budget of 5.3, so that's more than double. Am I correct?
It's significantly higher, yes, sir.
Significant. Did they give any explanation as to why it was going to be so much more other than inflation?
There were some discrepancies in the budgeted amounts of things that weren't accounted for, that the bidder had to account for, that were missed. So that was one, and the second thing is just the rising costs from the time this budget was put out to the actual bid and the projections of what's going to cost them by the time they procure everything. That's a big two big factors in the difference of the original budget and the bid.
Yeah.
Now, we do have somebody here from Volute and Thompson. If y'all would like to further explain some of the rationale for the differences, we'd appreciate that. And if you want to just come to the mic and say your name and address, and we can.
So my name is Brian Brown. I'm with Thompson Luke and Associates. And to answer your question, escalating costs obviously were a major part of it. Lead times also caused us to provide temporary chillers, or most likely going to cause that if it turns out that we don't have those long lead times, which I don't foresee that. But if it turns out that we don't, maybe we get some money back. You know, whenever we got, deep into the design, the electrical service there was extremely undersized, obviously antiquated. That was a cost that we had hoped that we could reuse some of that. Turns out we weren't able to. And then the last thing was the existing chiller system, chill water system was water cooled. We had a cooling tower, so we had to. I guess we didn't have to, but based on the wishes of the district, we changed to air-cooled, so that caused us to have to find a location for those chillers, being that the only location that was suitable was right out front of the school. We provided a chiller yard with walls, columns, something that would make the school look a little bit more like it was part of the school, or I should say more like the chiller yard like it was part of the school. And that was, also a contributing factor, not to mention the chillers themselves weigh close to 18,000 pounds apiece. So we have to drop piles there as well. So, 3 or 4 or 5 things add up, not to mention the escalating costs, labor, of course, too. Lead times start to domino into things, and that's, DJ might be able to add some other things, but I did see the schedule of values, and that was primarily the things that jumped out at me as the escalation. So.
Yeah, he's correct. I'm DJ Thompson with Volute. I'm the president of Volute, and just to help with a little comparison for you, we just did Terrebonne, which was about half the size of a $3 million job, and that was a 260-ton job. HL's a 520-ton job. So that gives you kind of a reference that it is actually a larger job. Terrebonne, we were reusing it because we changed the boilers out several years earlier. Those boilers weren't changed. HL's are being changed. Mentioned the piling and the structural slab and the columns and the fences. One thing, and then back to the comparison, it was a real easy electrical job at Terrebonne. It was a $60,000 portion of the work, so it was real small, and this one at HL's is $700 because they're changing the gear out and some other things. So it's significant differences. It can make, if you look at the breakdown, you'll see the differences. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Bookbill.
Yeah, my question is, and I guess it's not for you all, was this a bidded item?
Yes.
It was?
Yes.
And so this was supposedly the smallest bid?
It was the only bid.
The only bid, so we didn't have anyone else to compare?
Which is why we delayed it initially. We put this item off, and we did some more investigative work to see if we could get a better potential bid. And according to the sources we conferred with, this is about as good as it's gonna get.
From
Even
other-
if we'd reopen it and it would cause a lot of delays, which we could deal with delays, but this is a pretty reasonable bid.
And I guess my next question is the ESSER fund paying for the total cost,
ma'am.
including the
Yes,
increased
ma'am.
cost?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thanks.
Anybody else, Mr. Ford?
I did have a question. So you mentioned being put in the front of the building, and you want to make it look like it's intentional, like it's part of the design, and I get that, because we didn't want a school to look like the AC was an afterthought. But I know where they're at right now on the campus. Is it going to be adjacent to that towards the highway, or in the same place, they're just going to have to reinforce the concrete and redo the?
It'll be adjacent to that in front of the existing, I don't know what you call it.
The gazebo.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's what, I just wanted to get an idea of where it would be at, so I understand. It makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gazebo.
Anybody else? Any objections? No objections, so moved.
Good, thanks, Phil. Okay, item 4, consideration of approval of bid received for the Ellendon Memorial High School baseball field repairs. And you have the recommendation. Let's see if I have it. Thank you. So the recommendation is the board approve and accept the lowest bid received, meeting all specifications for baseball field repair project in response to Hurricane Ida at Ellendon Memorial High School from Grand Isle Shipyard, LLC, 18838 Highway 3235, Galliana, Louisiana, 70354, in the amount of $54,878, funds to be derived from FEMA reimbursement funds, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, who moved it?
Mr. DeHart.
Mr. DeHart, second by Ms. Solé. Any public comments? Ms. DeHart,
Not on this. Thank you.
Ms. Solé?
No, ma'am.
Any other board members? Mr. Ford?
I'm just curious, when did Grand Isle Shipyard start building baseball fields? That's what I'm trying to figure out, like.
It's just general construction.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's just-
General construction, yeah. It's-
So what all will this
It's
entail?
one of the main parts of this project are dugout repairs that are cinder block concession stand area. Some of the fencing, the backstop netting
Okay.
with pipes and stuff like that that hold up the netting.
So there'll be welding
Batting
and
cage,
all the-
some of that,
yeah.
yes, sir.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, thanks.
Any other board members? Mr.
Questions?
Hammond?
Just curious, how many bids did you receive on this one?
2 bids.
Two?
2 bids. The other one was at 154 grand. So this one was substantially lower than the other bid.
Anyone else?
Okay,
I'll see Any objections? None heard, so ordered. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Ms. Benoit? Mr. Voisin? Any public comment? Ms. Benoit?
No,
Mr.
ma'am.
Voisin? Any objections? None heard, so ordered. The special meeting of the school board is now adjourned. Call to order for the executive committee. This doesn't look like the report I'm used to, but anyway. We have an examination of invoices for the current month, including supplemental payroll and travel expenses. Do you have any concerns, Mr. LaGore?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Harding is not present. Let it known that the members present this evening are myself and Mr. LaGore. I have no concerns either. So do I have a motion to accept the invoices for the month?
I'll make a motion, we accept the invoices.
And I'm going to second that. Any other committee, any public comment? Any other board members? Any objections? None heard, so ordered. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second that. Any public, any other board members, any objections? So ordered. Executive meeting comes to a close.
Myself as chair, Mr. DeHart vice chair are present. Mr. Harding is in another meeting. Also present, Mr. Hamner, Ms. Benoit, Mr. Ford, Mr. Dr. Trahan, Mr. Lagarde, and Ms. Soleil for her last one. Superintendent and members of his staff. Consideration of approval for authorization to advertise for bids for a warehouse generator. The committee recommends that the board approve and authorize the Child Nutrition Department to advertise for bids for a warehouse generator. Funds to be derived from the Child Nutrition Program Fund and the General Fund. So move, Mr. DeHart, second myself. Any public comments? Mr. DeHart?
No, sir.
Any other board members?
I have a question.
Yep.
What's the breakdown? Is it going to be a 50-50 split, child nutrition fund, general fund, or is it going to be a prorated basis, or does the general fund kick in after the nutrition funds are spent?
The State Department approved for child nutrition funds to purchase the generator, the fuel tank, and all of the mechanical things. The only thing the Child Nutrition Program cannot pay for is any construction that may be associated with the, like a cover over the fuel tank and stuff like that. That's the only thing the Child Nutrition Fund cannot pay for.
Okay, thank you.
You want-
Mr. Ford?
So I have a couple of questions about this.
Ms. Walton, you may want to stay up.
Yeah, Ms. Walton. Is this a replacement or is this a new?
The current generator is 55 years old based on the serial number, and it requires a manual start. The refrigerated food in inventory today is $115,000. Because of the age of the unit, we're unable to find replacement parts.
Of course. So, not to question the verbiage of the proposal, but that would have probably been a little bit beneficial to us, to have a replacement in there. The other thing is, so the fuel.
Well, this is just to approve for it to be advertised for a bid.
Yeah, for a replacement generator.
Okay.
That's what I was getting at. It
Okay.
would have probably been a little ridiculous. And then maybe someone will have a different opinion than me, but, the other question is, so if this is for that generator, are we gonna be replacing the fuel tank that we use, or is that already in place?
We're replacing the fuel tank as well.
Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Walton. Number 3, consideration of approval for repairs to damages in response to Hurricane Ida. The committee recommends that the board approve and issue the notice to proceed as per contractual agreements to the listed architects for plans and specifications for the following projects: for repairs to damages in response to Hurricane Ida, funds to be derived from FEMA reimbursement funds, authorize the advertising of bids and or solicitation of quotes, direct that any major project changes be reported to the VFT committee prior to advertising for bids, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
So moved, Mr. DeHart, second myself. Any public comments? And board members, as you can see, there's 24 schools listed there. Mr. DeHart?
I'd just like to make a positive comment. I'm glad the architects are handling this. Now we're starting to see some production. So I'm very pleased that we're to this point and get things done instead of just keep studying and having meetings after meetings. I like to see this progress being made. So thank you for all the local architects and the ones we chose and get assigned to different projects. So good luck to y'all. Thank y'all.
Any other board, Mr. Ford?
I'm gonna say this now, because I'll say it again at the board meeting, in January, but I have concerns about the project managers, and this is helping a little with that, but like Mr. DeHart said, you can plan all day, you can study, but it's time to get work done sometimes, it's time to get it done. I really don't like quoting this person, but I'm gonna tell you a quote from Mike Tyson, of all people, and he said that everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Well, you can plan all day until you get punched in the mouth. It's not gonna work, so it's time for us to get to work and get these things done. So, and I'll reiterate that at the board meeting, I hope they're here, because if they don't get to step in and do some work, we may have to reconsider what we have going on. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other board members?
I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Hammond.
Is this notice to proceed on these, all these projects, is that locking us into, in case our plan for the rebuilding of this system may change for some of these sites?
No, sir. Not locking. But
You follow what I'm saying? Like, let's take a school like Andrew Price, which is obsolete and not used, and
Right.
probably, you know,
Mhm.
and I'm just using that as an example, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
You know, are we still, FEMA's gonna pay for that?
That's the key.
All right, but if we want to do something else with that money, instead of putting it, do we need to use that money on Andrew Price if the board as a whole, or majority, decides to do something different later on down the
Yeah.
line and say, okay, look, we're running out of money, instead of taking 90% of the repairs from FEMA, let's take the 80% from FEMA, or whatever it may be, to use it at another site where we may need it.
That's a possibility. It's always a possibility.
So none of this is locked in and definite and put into a plan.
Right, but it's also, Mr. Hamner, just probably the responsible thing to do. Like you mentioned Andrew Price. Let's say we never use it, but there's a building that's just dilapidated. While we
Yeah,
can
and I'm
get
not
it
arguing that,
covered,
I'm just using
we
that as an
probably should
example.
move
What
forward.
if, something else comes along down the line and we need to,
Mhm.
like a better rock heater to pay call, to better utilize the little bit of money that we're gonna have without having to use our general fund money which is so many projects that we're gonna need to spend that money on.
Okay.
So that
Fair
is,
enough.
that is
That's possible,
possibility,
yes, sir.
assuming that the board votes that way.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be able to prioritize what we're gonna do first, huh?
For sure. Well, we can, but it really doesn't matter. Like, they all need to kind of just happen. So when they're ready, we just have to move and get them done. So like, one job being prioritized over another is not gonna speed it up. It's when they're ready, we
gotta
just have to
act
kind of
on
get
it.
them done.
Ms. Sullivan.
So that brings me to another question then. How do we know if,
Come on.
pardon me?
I said, come on. If another person wants to speak, can you just speak out without being recognized?
He recognized.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Hammond. Okay,
I'm coming. I just was
okay, yeah,
offended.
take a moment.
So we would, is the board gonna approve each of these, when it's ready to start to build?
Not necessarily.
Or they
This approval right now gives architects
Notice to proceed.
notice to proceed with everything from bidding to awarding the contracts.
So if you see a need then to,
We can pull as if we need. Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Sullivan.
Ms. Rosarn, is Andrew Price, are we still using that as storage?
Pretty much, yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's,
Yes, ma'am. Can I
Yes, sir.
add something to
Sure.
this conversation here? So what you have before you is an updated schedule that was put together by staff. And the schedule it's going to be a live, living document that we'll place on our website. We gave you a whole copy tonight, but it's in the form of a Google Sheet, which means we can update it, and as it updates, it's gonna be updated on the website. So there'd be no more having to kind of retreat it off and replace it with the updated version. It's gonna be live. And what you can see here is a lot of the things that we approved to proceed tonight, they're in this pink phase right now. So as soon as the bids go out, it'll be updated on here, and you'll see a little blue box with the dates of each bid. And then shortly thereafter, when bids are awarded, it's gonna progress to the green phase or section or color-coded box to indicate procurement of materials and progression of the repair work kind of shortly thereafter. Just wanted to share that with you, that this is now gonna be live and updated.
Mr. DeHart.
Yes, and I want to compliment Ms. Alley for doing this work. It didn't come from the project manager. This is the kind of stuff that I appreciate, knowing where we are and where we got to go to. So that's why, from the beginning, I said we need local architects to make sure, because every school we've had to construct, add on to, whatever, in all of the years I've been here, we've made excellent strides on getting it done, whenever you had the funding. So, just saying, I want to spend the money on the schools, all of this planning, and meetings. Our staff is really, into all of these meetings, so they're informed, and I trust the architects and the staff. And like I say, Ms. Alley did this projection, and it's very informative to me, so thank you very much. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Ford.
If I remember correctly, this is the format that Volker had provided for us, but I like the idea that on the left, you see what the project manager is and who the architects are that are responsible for it. I do like the idea that it is gonna be up on the website. After all, I did bring that up about 5 months ago. So, thank you for getting around to doing that. But I'd like to share this with people too. So, I just want to bring it up, I guess, here with live stream. When is it going to be available on the actual website?
As soon as tomorrow.
Okay, so we'll look forward to more of you on the homepage, I assume.
Yeah, we have a little tab up top, it's called Hurricane Ida Recovery. And tap that and push another tab that opens up. Currently, we have 2 project manager
Separate,
schedules,
yeah.
and they're a little different. It's kind of difficult to kind of go back and forth, so now we have everything on
Yep.
one document.
Makes
So
sense.
it makes it, and as it makes it live, which is the better.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
just looking at, making sure I understand this, like in Acadian Elementary, if we look at that one, for the roofing project, we're estimating that by June 2023, estimated it should be complete. Is that what that means?
That's what that means. Yes,
Okay.
sir. It obviously would give a date.
Yeah, right,
maybe
it's an
two, or, you know,
estimation.
depending on, so it says, typically all the green would be the procurement of materials.
Right.
So that's a wavering, you know, timeline. So it could be a month, it could be beyond that.
Right.
That's also including the
Good. Yeah, I do like this. Thank you, Ms. Allen.
And
Excellent.
Being you mentioned that, we flip over to like, let's say, like the home of junior high. So you can see that one on the third page. So their roof repairs, see the bid finished it was awarded in November, so she's probably ready to kind of green code in December, January 23, because we're already procuring roofing materials at that site right now. So that's gonna be the next color coded phase for home of junior high.
Okay.
Just for instance.
So the green shows us that that's all been done, the bid, the design, the bids went out, and the green is
It's been awarded.
awarded, and
and
it's,
materials and bid ready to
as
start
soon as we
work.
get material, we're moving. Okay, good. I do like this. Excellent. Excellent job. Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 4, the committee recommends that the board approve and use a notice to proceed as per contractual agreement to Ritter Consulting Engineers LTD for interior finish content removal at Ellender Memorial High School in response to Hurricane Ida. Funds to be derived from FEMA reimbursement funds. Authorize the advertising of bids and or solicitation of quotes. Direct that any major project changes be reported to the BFT committee prior to advertising for bids, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
Move.
Movement, Mr. DeHart, second myself. Any public comments? Mr. DeHart?
No, sir, thank you.
Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 5, the committee recommends that the board approve the substantial completion dated November 16, 2022 for the modular building at Berg Elementary School to increase the contract time by 44 days due to weather delays, and ratify a credit change order in the amount of $22,392, subject to the punch list. Upon completion of the punch list and final inspection, balancing credit change order and receipt of the lien-free certificate, authorize the release of retainage, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So move.
So move, Mr. DeHart, second myself. Any public comments? Mr. DeHart?
Mr. Bruce, I love that word, credit. Thank y'all for doing a good job.
Yep, I noticed that too. That's awesome. Any other
Don't
board
happen
members?
often.
Any other board members? Any objections? Motion passes.
Just want to say,
Yes, sir.
they moved in this week.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Fantastic.
That's what I like to hear.
So 2 days and now they're on.
Yeah.
Good, ready for the new year.
Yes.
Number 6, committee recommends that the board approve the substantial completion dated November 21, 2022 for the modular building at Broadmoor Elementary School to increase the contract time by 38 days to weather delays, and ratify a credit change order in the amount of $6,254, subject to the punch list. Upon completion of the punch list and final inspection, balancing credit change order and receipt of the lien-free certificate, authorize the release of retainage, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. So move, Mr. DeHart. Second myself. Any public comments? Mr. DeHart?
Must be Christmas, thank you for the credit.
Keep it coming, keep it coming.
I make
Any
that
other-
all the time now.
Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Are they in that building too, Mr. Rob?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
More details are out, but they'll be in shortly thereafter on New Year's.
Fantastic, thank you. Number 7, the committee recommends that the board approve and authorize the Jeremy and Bruce Architects to advertise for bids for security fencing at Acadian Elementary, Broadmoor Elementary, Elysian Fields Middle, Honduras Elementary, Oak Lawn Middle, establish a budget of $1 million, fund to be derived from the building fund. So move, Mr. DeHart. Second myself. Any public comments? Mr. DeHart?
No, sir.
This is where they get you.
Hey, you knew I was gonna, I knew you were gonna say it, that's why I wanted to give you
You
a
let me
shot.
say it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other board members? Yes, Ms.
Just a quick question. I briefly looked at some of this estimate stuff, and it looks like some schools are getting wood fences and some are getting chain link.
That,
Is that-
I'm not
There's
sure.
one,
is that correct?
we talked about one wood fence at one site in particular, just a section of it, because of issues with some of the adjacent homes. It would just be a privacy
I see.
section
Okay.
for that one school in particular, and that's Elysian Fields. We had
So that's
issues.
the difference.
That's the only section we threw up a piece of wood fence.
And the
If-
chain link fence?
Am I right, Daniel?
That's correct.
Okay.
And the chain links are how high?
7 foot high.
7.
7 foot, and it's heavy duty, Daniel could elaborate, but it's heavy duty piping. It's not a normal fence, it's a good, strong fence. And when he designs it in such a way that, if you want to come, Daniel, to the front, that there's no pole, horizontal pole across the top. And you could explain what that is, but it makes it much more difficult to scale or climb. It's
Okay.
unstable, so that's the approach
Yeah,
we're
it's
taking with this fence.
Daniel Bruce, 1408 Levy Drive. It's called a no-climb design, so it's 7 foot tall, and it's a tension wire across the top, so as you get higher and higher, it starts getting a little wobbly on you, so not to say that you can't scale it, not to say that it can't be done, but it makes it just that much more difficult to scale. And Mr. Ogeron is correct, at Elysian Fields, we're doing a privacy screen fence along the property line that fronts there's a row of 6 or 10 houses that are right on the property line, so just to screen them, and the playground, little concrete play area is like right there, so just to screen them from being able to visually look at them during recess and whatnot, we just put the wood fence up there as an option. Or not as an option, but
And if you look in your packet, we have, this sheet here is a breakdown of the cost, so, what we asked Daniel to do, and he graciously did, the red on, well, the left side is the base price, so we have a million budgeted, but it's quite under $1 million, although it's a lot of money. The difference between the two prices are, he designed it in such a way that there's a cement chain wall, so to speak, underneath the fence. So that would be like an alternate. So without an alternate, we're looking at the prices on the left side, the left column. So we're leaning toward that base to be it instead of going that route, just because of the $2,000 difference in costs.
And I love the safety feature. That's good. Good about the top of the fence. It's great.
Yes, Mr. DeHart.
May I ask you a question in the design? Okay, you got a cement slab going underneath, that's an alternate, right?
that's correct.
I just wanna make sure the wooden fence don't sit on the cement or sit on the ground. That's where it's
It'll
gonna
be
get
about
bad for.
an inch or so above grade.
That's great, I'm not a fence guy, I'm just saying every fence I've seen
Yeah,
at the schools in the past.
The
when
chain
you touch the
wall is
ground,
it's
you get
strictly a
rocked.
maintenance thing, it's not required.
Yes,
But it's for, grass cutting.
Yes,
and,
sir.
To where you can ride the lawnmower past the fence as opposed to having to get up close and
Yes, sir.
weed and whatnot. So it's strictly a maintenance, item. We've done them in the Fuchs Parish as well, so.
I understand, I'm just gonna give the last comment, if I may. Ant piles get next to wooden fences, I'm just saying, until you spray it, I'm just saying, they keep infesting and it gets rotten in the bottom. I'm just saying, that's why I saw that at South Carolina and 2 other schools. So I'm just saying, I saw the damage it can do, and it was off the ground. The ant piles reached, so,
Big rock.
thank you. We got a lot of that in there.
And if you look here, we also have a map of the 5 schools with the red perimeter line indicating where the fences are. And for the most part, most of them are real tight inside the schools, from building to building. We're really not going to capture the whole entire property. So we're trying to be as frugal as we can with the amount of fencing that we're going to use.
Good. Any Any other board members?
And I just want to thank Mr.
Yeah.
Tarbert, working with Mr. Bruce as well, on this project, where they've walked these 5 campuses and really kind of came them down with a real solid plan to get this done.
Awesome. Dr. Trahan?
I'm just wanting to thank everyone that's been working on here for moving this forward. We really need those fencing, especially on those east side schools that are in the city, and they have access to anybody to walk on. It's a real security risk. Oak Lawn, Acadian, Honduras. And as far as the Elysian Fields with the row houses right next to the play yard, I'm very familiar with that. I worked duty on that yard for 5 years. But that's great, I approve of that, but we have to take into consideration there are other schools like that. The one that I worked at was Montague Elementary. That's about 6 or 7 houses right up against the backyard, against the playground, and the little kids are right there. So we need to look at that same maybe fencing when we do fencing in those other schools to provide that privacy.
Mr. Ogeron, anything? Okay. Mr. Ford?
Mr. Bruce, in a little while, I have an informational item, so I'm gonna tell you about it now. It's at Broadmoor. We're gonna be looking at doing some, refurbishing of the basketball court and tennis courts. So I'll have, our maintenance guys or someone contact you, because that is gonna be something that you guys are gonna be working on, adjacent to the tennis courts where it's enclosed, that corner. On the corner closest to, K Street, that gate is always locked. It's been locked for, 2 decades now. But the school isn't able to utilize it during the day. And I want to see if we might be able to work something out whenever we do that fence to actually retrofit that gate also, to where they can get in and out of it with features. And then after hours, people utilize those tennis courts, if they can access the tennis courts from that area, from that gate. So if there's some kind of way we can work that out to where that gate is fixed, the one that's inside the tennis court. I don't know if that's something you guys want to do.
I'm not sure, because I know there's another architect working on the Broadmoor property from storm damage, and I know those tennis court fences took a little whack.
Yeah.
So that might be something that'd be part of their scope. I'm not that I don't want more work with it. But, that maybe they would be handling that portion of the, of refurbishing that fence line.
Yeah,
For the tennis court.
guys, whoever it is. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Number 8, the committee recommends that the board approve and accept an amendment to the contract with First Student, Inc., reducing the number of leased school buses by 15, effective January 1, 2023, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. So move, Mr. DeHart. Second, Mr. Harding. Any public comments? Mr. Obear, would you like to come up and explain, make sure everybody does understand, as board members as well as people in the audience, why we're going to reducing 15 buses?
Good evening. So within the last 3 years, our student ridership has decreased roughly about 2,000 students. We have several buses that aren't being utilized at this time. So we're looking to get rid of 15 of those buses. This will also, I think, I have 137 route buses. And out of that 137 route buses, we should have 10 to 12% should be spare buses. We will be okay with that because I have, which would give me 17 buses if it's 12%. Right now, we're sitting at about 20% of buses. Even after I get rid of the 15, I still have 11 extra buses on top of my 17 spare buses. So we'll be fine. It's just that those buses are just sitting there. And if we get rid of those 15 buses, we can save the district $106,644 per year annually. So that was my reason for wanting to get rid of these 15 buses.
Appreciate that. Any board members? Wait, Yeah, you moved it first, Mr. DeHart.
I agree with Mr. O'Bear, you know, that's logic, and we leasing buses, we don't own any. So right now, if the population increases, we still have sufficient buses to take care of, you know, increasing students as they come and moving back due to Hurricane Ida, you know, moving out of the parish, hopefully some of them come back.
Yes, sir.
And the cushion he has, I think, is very comfortable.
I agree. Yep.
I had no concern about that.
Mr. Ford?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So I know you guys have had a hard time manning some of those buses, and that's why you have the excess. But if we're gonna be saving some money, I know the first question the bus drivers that they're gonna ask is, okay, well, are we gonna pay a little more? So maybe just start talking with these guys, your leadership, and see if we can work something out with you guys instead of having to come to the board. Some sort of incentive program for the bus drivers to make it to work consistently. I think that would be a great idea if you guys can work that out, build some morale, and kind of keep them.
And I'm glad you stated that because I've been checking around other districts, other people that deal with busing, and I mean we're doing a lot of stuff that we can actually do. The superintendent and I, and Mr. Mark Talbert, and all of us. We're doing a lot of things. But I think the word that you hit was incentive. I think that's probably have to be our next thing. I've been talking to a lot of districts and a lot of people, and I mean, it's just trying to get bus drivers. I think that might be our next thing. If we can get bus drivers to go out there and they know they got some type of incentive to find us some people, and know that they're going to get compensated for finding us some people. Maybe I think that might be one of our things we can look at. So I got everything on the table, and I think the superintendent does too. He's been working with me and so forth. So we're doing everything that we can do, but I think that's one we can look at.
I think as a board, we're supporting Mr. Lajoie, and we know how important it is for people to work consistently, happy to work, and you get compensated.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you guys need to do.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Trahan?
We appreciate all your efforts, sir. We understand how difficult it is with keeping personnel. You can't go up and down the streets of Houma or the parish that almost every workplace has hiring signs out front. There's a lot of jobs out there and not enough people to fill them for not just the school district, not just busing, but almost every company in this state, I believe.
Yes,
It's hard to find enough personnel these days. And we really truly appreciate your efforts in trying to put together some programs to get us some good people.
And I'm not one for all the credit, but I appreciate everything. But my staff that I had back there, they work their tails off. So I'll pass that along to my staff.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Mr. LaGore?
Also, Ms. Donna, we'd like to thank you and your staff for the service. We know it's hard and it's hard to get drivers, but y'all are doing a great job out there. You know, so we really appreciate it and let us know the board appreciates what you're doing and what you're doing, sir. Thank you very much.
That's the first thing I do. The first thing tomorrow morning is let them know that.
Yes, thank you.
Because they really need it. Because we.
Ms. Benoit?
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for your service and your staff service. I know that probably 40%, not that I get many complaints from constituents, but maybe 40% of the complaints that I do get are about bus issues. And I understand the real difficulty you have with securing enough bus drivers and having them come to work on time and show up, get substitutes and all that. But my question is, how long have you had these extra buses that have been underutilized?
Actually, it started with COVID.
Okay, so a couple of years then.
COVID and the storm. It really kicked off with the storm, but it started with COVID. Yes, and you get to a point to where if the ridership, when COVID hit, we was under the impression that the ridership was going to come right back after COVID. Mr. Martin and I and so forth. Then you had the storm, and it was like, okay, well, after the storm, they're going to come back, so we don't want to get rid of buses because the storm, and they're going to come right back. But thinking, well, it's showing a trend that, well, they're not coming quite right back.
Yeah.
So we don't want to get rid of all of them. Like I said, I can get rid of 26 of them. I have 26 extra buses, but we're just getting rid of 15 and keeping 11 just in case if our ridership tends to increase, well, we have a cushion of 11 buses I can start putting back on the road.
Sure. I guess I was just thinking about the funds that we have used or expended and then not really use these buses. So maybe a plan is to not let it go too long before an action like this takes place, because we could have saved some money maybe earlier on. But I appreciate all the hard work that y'all do.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for that.
Mr. DeHart?
I'd just like to make a comment. I did a little homework on that, because transportation's been an issue since I got on this board. We used to have buses 22 years old. I'm just saying that's a long time to have buses and breaking down every day. The fleet we have now, and if you got rid of more buses right now and needed some, I'm just saying that they're taking a caution to try and save, because if they just say you got rid of 20-something buses, and then later on you need to get 10 more. With the 10 new ones, it's going to be higher than what we have now. So, it's a balance of things.
Yeah, I know it's okay.
And don't get me wrong, who's right, who's wrong, I think they're making a prudent decision.
And if I can add to that,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The buses prior to what we have now, they used to be air brake buses. We don't have any air brake buses. Air brake buses you can get pretty much anywhere. We have hydraulic brake buses.
Yeah.
You take those hydraulic brake buses away, it's hard to get. And that was, I talked about that with First Student. And they reminded me, get rid of all these jokers, which we didn't want to, but if you got rid of all of them, I don't know when we're gonna be able to get you some more hydraulic buses. So if the ridership go up, that don't mean we're gonna have these buses to get to you. So that's kind of where the caution thing was there for the last couple of years. We get rid of them, can we get them back? So that's kind of where we're at. And so after the trend, we saw this trend. It's like, I think we're making the right decision to go ahead and get rid of these buses now. Right.
Mr. Ogeron?
Just a couple of comments. First of all, last week we had an early dismissal, and thank Mr. Aubert and all the drivers for being so efficient, getting our kids home. They did a great job at, on short notice. And we're working hard to fix issues, and we get calls, and I get calls, and I call Devlin, and we're always trying to work, or he is rather, but at the end of the day, we get every kid to school and every kid home. It's not timely like we want it to be, but they do a good job stepping up. All those drivers that take multiple runs every day, multiple loads in a run. I mean, it's tremendous what they're doing. So we come in transportation, and the drivers in particular.
Yeah.
What they do every day.
And that's the biggest part to me, because I feel for those drivers. And I got some drivers, they're working their tails off. And I mean, they normally do 3 loads, a high school, a middle, and an elementary. But I got some of them doing 6, 7 loads. And when you got about 60 people, you're missing 60 people. That's 60 times 3, because they do 3 schools. So 60 times 3, that gives you what, 180 loads that we need to cover by the drivers that are at work. So that's how massive this is. I mean, then we got to put it together like a puzzle. Like, okay, who we can get to cover to make sure that we try to get to school on time. I mean, this is every day. I mean, look at the way them lose.
That was a G-Man right there.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it.
That's the benefit.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys understanding and giving acknowledging our department and my people. So I will let them know that first thing tomorrow. I'm not worried about me, it's them, those guys.
Tom's getting great too.
Yeah. So thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Obert. Appreciate you. Yep.
Yeah, again, now, I'm not gonna be redundant as the other board members, you do look a little thin. When you first started here, I don't think you had any gray hair also.
I ain't had no gray hair.
Right, so you look thin and gray, but listen, on a more serious note, you have a hell of a job.
Yeah.
You really have a hell of a job, because I'm gonna tell you something, I think most of us up here would know that bus drivers are unique. You deal with some unique people, different personalities, different likes, and all type of things. And you guys, like I say, like a puzzle putting it together, you know, and like I said, I understand, I mean, hey, my phone goes off sometime, I call you, you know, but I know you're doing the best you can possibly do what you have at hand. And another thing, I think I want to recommend the staff, I know we've been riding around looking at those signs in the schoolyards and, you know, advertising, so I know we're working. You know, I know we're working, so it's not like we're just sitting on our hands and saying, you know, closing our eyes and say it's going to just disappear. You know, we're working, we're trying to make something happen. So, you know, again, you know, congratulations to you and your staff for all the hard work that you have done, because, like Mr. Orgeron said, you know, the schools won't function without the kids getting there.
And I tell people, you know, I appreciate it. Thank you. I tell the people all the time, you know, this is my goal to my staff. I mean, this is my everyday speech to my staff. Look, we down 60 people. Ain't nothing I can do. We down 60 today. So we're gonna be late somewhere. We're gonna be late. Let's just make sure we get them to school safely. Let's make sure we get them home safely. If we can do that, I feel we won the day. I mean, that's the best we can do. That's the best. That's the best I can do. I don't know. I'm to the point. I just tell people I don't know what else to do. So if anybody got any solutions, tell me when you're 60 people.
You know what? I'm gonna say this here. Myself and Mr. Orgeron about a month ago was in the same area. I think it was Caldwell School, and was having board members. The buses that's coming late, the schools are adjusting. They're adjusting, and it was amazing. I mean, we witnessed up there in reference to how the bus, you know, getting there late, but getting there. So the schools are actually working with you, adjusting to make sure the kids are not losing instructional time. And I think that's teamwork.
And I think too, the good thing is that when someone calls me about a late bus, I don't just I want to look at it because I need to look at it. When a parent calls, anyone calls, even one of you guys, because sometimes when I look at it, it might be something I can do to fix that problem. But the majority of the time, it's just because I don't have enough people. But every little, if I can tweak it a little bit and make something work, I try to do it. And like I said, it's just like a puzzle. It's just putting pieces together, and some pieces work, some don't work. We put this piece together, they got there a little later, don't use that piece, get another piece, put another piece in, and that's kind of how it works.
Last time I said, eat just some gumbo and potatoes, man. Put some weight on the house.
Yeah, I know. And my wife always tell me, I mean, me and Mr. D.R. talked about it one day, but my wife always tell me, she say, look, you ain't gonna put no more weight on, so just live with it. It is what it is. You're just not gonna put no more weight on. Then she'll tell me, get out of the way before I push it on.
And it's so late.
Well, I tried to help you out, Mr. O'Bear. I had a grandfather that called complaining that the grandson was getting home too late, and I tried to explain we were like 50 drivers short and now that. So I offered him a job if he had a seat. I said, I can get you a job right now. Dead silence, never heard from him again.
But the good thing is I just hired 7 drivers. Oh, man. So that went through the training, we hired 7. But the bad thing is I had 2 that's not with us because, and it's not nothing that, 2 good people, they just can't deal, they tell you, they just can't deal with the kids. It's okay, when they're hearing it from me, it's easy, but when they actually get on that bus and have to deal with it, then it's kind of like reality sets in, they're like, this is not for me. And then so they leave, and then I'm like, well, I hired 7, 2 quit, now I have 5. So that's kind of
Issue in the positive.
That's the life. So that's the life of transportation.
And probably January, February, we can probably do a presentation just to kind of just give everybody an overview of all the things that are in place to do some recruiting and retention of drivers. There's a lot of things going on that we didn't quite mention tonight, but
yes,
probably worthy of a formal presentation.
Yes. Fantastic.
Yes.
Whatever we can do to get more drivers.
Yes, and like I said, again, I just want to thank everybody and thank the superintendent because actually he's been there 100%. So pretty much doing what we can do, giving me what I need. So I appreciate that.
Dr. Trump?
Talking about a presentation, it's also good that we get this information out to our parents so they will actually know what's going on. They're gonna be more understanding about how, you know, sometimes the kids get home later than others. If they have the information.
Dr. Trinity, I don't know, parent representative committee this coming up in January. That's good.
And Mr. Obed, I don't think you're too skinny. You're looking good, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 9, matter bearing upon refurbishing the basketball and tennis courts of Broadmoor Elementary School in conjunction with Terrebonne Parish Rec District 2-3. Mr. Ford?
So I was gonna put this on the agenda as an item with a recommendation, but it's not necessary because we have the funding for it. Our maintenance guys have agreed to help us get it facilitated. And the recreation, as they have been, is gonna help maintain it. One of the things, just to give you a couple of bullet points of what we wanna do, the basketball courts, the goals there, the backboards, the rims, the no nets, those are gonna be replaced. Ms. Swallow at Broadmoor said she has money to do those things. We just need the manpower to do it. So our maintenance department's gonna build those backboards for us, put up the goals at regulation height, hopefully, put up some new nets, make it a little bit nicer for the kids to play on. The actual court is being taken over by grass, so we're gonna pressure wash the grass, do the edging, get all that lined up. Now, the tennis court has been maintained by Rec 2-3 for a number of years now, and it's kind of fallen to disarray as well because of the hurricane, the fencing and stuff. So we're gonna look at what we can do within our means to fix that. And I'm gonna get recreation to come and paint the lines on the basketball court and the tennis courts. And maybe retroactively, they're talking about, it's a 2 tennis court area right now. They're talking about maybe making one staying a tennis court, but the other side doing something like a miniature skate park or something like that in the corner, for skateboarding, rollerblading, and they have the means to do that if we go ahead and go in that way. But I'm just waiting to talk to our maintenance department, Ms. Swallow. We're gonna get together in January and try to get this knocked out. I mentioned the fencing earlier with Mr. Bruce, and it's only because they have that gate that hasn't been utilized. And in the past, so just to give you a little background, I played basketball on those courts for over a decade, pretty much every night, when I was in my 20s and even as a teenager. And that was a place that we went and played basketball, and they used to have lights. And the lights were on a switch. So we would go play, and at the end of the night, we turned the switch off. Well then, as the younger generation came along and started playing, they stopped turning the switch off, or they'd go and turn it on at night after we'd stopped playing. So they went ahead and put it on a timer, and then at some point in time, they disconnected all the lights, and they no longer have them there. So I think it's real important that we put those lights back on, at least on a timer, for a couple of reasons. For one, the recreation aspect of it, for the people in the neighborhood to be able to utilize those courts. The other thing is the safety aspect involved as well. So I like the idea of refurbishing. It's right next to where the new portable building is, and that portable took up a lot of the space that the kids used to use to do recreation, to play in that yard. So by refurbishing the courts and resecuring the tennis courts, the teachers will be able to utilize that during the day also with their students. So it's for the students, but it's going to benefit the entire community. So, but we don't have to bring forth a recommendation because we do have the funding for it. We just have to work out the logistics. And that $6,254 credit that we got from that portable building may help us also. We have to tap into those funds. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Any other comments? All right. Number 10, matter bearing upon maintenance updates, Mr. Wassell.
Good evening. Merry Christmas. Thought that was mine. Just a little update on what we have going. Still meeting with project managers on hurricane repairs. Got a gas line repaired on top of H.L. Bourgeois that was destroyed by the storm. We had to get going for some classes over there. Repaired cement in the bus circle at Terrebonne, same thing at Evergreen. We attended pre-bid meetings for several construction projects. With repaired motors and boiler room at Honduras. While it was down, we had to install temporary heating in there, which I gotta commend those people. They came down in a hurry and did it. And of course, we repaired several units. Yeah. Yeah, I think they had it set up like in 6 hours or something like that from the call. And we had like 300 work orders come in. That's about it.
Any questions from Mr. Poisson?
Just like to
Mr.
make a
DeHart?
comment. Thank you and all your employees that work under you for doing a great job and with everything y'all been doing. I'll tell you what, between the meetings and all that you got to do, I know you work tirelessly, and I appreciate all the efforts you do.
Thank you.
Mr. Ford?
One question about the awning at Terrebonne High between the stadium and the main building. Is anything done, happening with that?
The,
It's still just talk, right now.
Yeah.
But it's, on this chart here, they'll be bidding that out.
So it's part of the construction, it's not from this?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Construction.
that's what I just, all right, thank you.
Any other board members? Entertain a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn, Mr. DeHart, second myself. Public comments? Adjourn.